Welcome back to another episode. Today we're peeling back the layers of history to reveal a chilling truth that strikes at the core of our survival efforts. We're exploring the unsettling history of food rationing. Imagine a time when the government dictated how much food you could buy. This was a stark reality during the World Wars, a time of scarcity and uncertainty. Governments worldwide enforced stringent food rationing programs to manage scarce resources. Citizens were issued ration books which contained stamps or coupons that could be traded for certain quantities of rationed items. These items spanned from meat, dairy, sugar and flour to canned goods. The system determined rations based on factors such as age, occupation, and nutritional needs. So, the freedom to stockpile food or build a prepper pantry was simply non-existent. The government's allocation was your only ticket to sustenance. Registering for ration books was mandatory and citizens had to adhere to strict purchasing limits. These limits were enforced at designated rationing centers or grocery stores. And the penalties for violating these regulations? They ranged from fines and imprisonment to a total loss of rationing privileges. In the face of such restrictions, alternative means of acquiring goods emerged. Black markets and bartering became common, but they came with their own set of risks. Higher prices, legal repercussions, and the threat of unscrupulous dealers were all part of the deal. The unsettling history of food rationing paints a vivid picture of survival in times of crisis. It shows us a world where the freedom to stockpile food was curtailed, where survival was a game of playing by the rules or finding ways around them. The past has shown us that in times of crisis, governments can and have limited our ability to stockpile food. But could this happen again in the modern world? As we peel back the layers of history, we're left pondering this unnerving question. So buckle up as we delve deeper into this topic in our next segment. Until then, remember, knowledge is your best defense. Fast forward to today, where the ability to stockpile food is seen as a fundamental right, a key component of our survival efforts. But is it really as secure as we think? In our modern world, most of us take for granted the freedom to buy as much food as we wish, whenever we wish. We have the luxury of filling our pantries with a diverse array of goods, from canned goods to freeze-dried meals, all in preparation for potential emergency situations. But how secure is this freedom? Could we find ourselves in a situation where our government imposes limitations on our ability to stockpile food? It's a chilling thought, but not completely out of the realm of possibility. In times of extreme scarcity, governments worldwide have been known to implement measures to control the distribution of resources. This could mean the reintroduction of rationing systems or even the outright seizure of large food stockpiles. But let's be clear, it's highly unlikely that your average prepper's pantry will be targeted. The government's focus would likely be on those buying in bulk with the intent to resell, essentially creating a black market for food and other essentials. These individuals would be the ones caught in the crosshairs, not the everyday citizens simply trying to ensure their family's survival in difficult times. However, we can't rule out the possibility of a new rationing program being introduced in times of severe crisis. Under such a scheme, you might be required to declare your existing food stockpile to qualify for rations. Having a large stockpile could result in fewer rations, while having none could mean more. And if you were to lie about your stockpile and get caught, well, that's when things could get dicey, with potential consequences ranging from fines to the confiscation of your supplies. While it's unlikely that your food stockpile will be seized outright, there are scenarios where the government could limit your access to supplies. It's crucial to be aware of these possibilities and to plan accordingly. After all, forewarned is forearmed. As we look to the future, we must consider the possibility that history could repeat itself. Could we see a return of rationing in times of crisis? Let's delve into this chilling prospect. Imagine a future where a global crisis, perhaps a collapse or a war, has led to scarcity. Governments worldwide, in a desperate bid to manage resources, might decide to reintroduce the rationing system of old with a modern twist. Now imagine this. You've spent years building your food stockpile, only to be told that you must declare its contents to the government. This isn't just about your name on a list or a harmless questionnaire. It's about the government knowing exactly what you have in your pantry, down to the last can of beans. In this potential scenario, your declared stockpiles could directly impact the ration you're eligible for. If you have a well-stocked pantry, you might receive less or perhaps nothing at all. On the other hand, if you have little to no food, you'd be eligible for more rations. What does this mean for you, the diligent prepper who spent years ensuring your family's security in times of crisis? Well, it could mean that your hard-earned stockpile, your safety net, is under scrutiny. It might even be at risk of seizure if you're suspected of lying about its contents. This chilling prospect isn't just about losing control over your food resources, it's about your autonomy, your privacy, and your survival strategy being potentially compromised. It's about the very essence of prepping, self-reliance, and foresight being undermined. However, it's important to remember that this is just a potential scenario, a speculative what if. Currently, your food stockpile is most likely safe from government seizures unless you're buying in extreme quantities for reselling. So, what can we take away from this chilling prospect? It's simple. In a world of uncertainty, it's crucial to be prepared for every eventuality, including the possibility of rationing or seizures. So, what can you do to protect your food stockpile from potential government interference, you may ask? Well, there are several practical measures that you can take to safeguard your survival rations. Firstly, diversify your storage locations. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, or in this case, all your canned goods in one pantry. Think creatively and find different places around your home, or even off-site, to store your supplies. This could be as simple as dividing your stockpile between your basement, attic, and a sturdy outdoor shed. If one stash is discovered or compromised, you'll still have access to the others, ensuring your survival. Secondly, maintain a low profile. There's a saying, loose lips sink ships. The same principle applies here. Sharing information about your stockpile, no matter how proud you might be of your preparation efforts, can draw unwanted attention. This could be from your neighbors, local community, or even government officials. So, keep quiet about your prepping activities. Remember, the fewer people who know about your stockpile, the safer it is. Thirdly, stay informed about changes in government policies. Knowledge is power, my friends. Keep an eye on local and national news, and be aware of any changes in regulations that could affect your ability to stockpile food. If a rationing program is announced, you'll want to know about it as soon as possible to adjust your strategy accordingly. Lastly, consider investing in long-term storage food. These are specially packaged meals that can last for up to 25 years. Not only do they provide a great source of nutrition, but they're also less likely to attract attention as they can be neatly tucked away out of sight. By taking these steps, you can significantly reduce the risk of your survival rations being compromised. Remember, the goal here is not to live in fear, but to prepare wisely. After all, survival is not just about enduring hardships, but also about outsmarting potential obstacles. At the end of the day, your food stockpile is more than just a collection of canned goods and dried foods. It's your lifeline, your assurance of survival in times of crisis. When the supermarkets are empty and the supply chains have collapsed, it's your stockpile that will keep you and your loved ones fed and healthy. It's your fortress against hunger and malnutrition, your shield against uncertainty. This is why we stockpile. Not because we're paranoid or expecting the worst, but because we understand the importance of preparation. We've seen the fragility of our food systems, we've witnessed the panic buying and empty shelves. We know that when disaster strikes, it's too late to start preparing. Your stockpile is your insurance policy, your backup plan. It's there to support you when times are tough, to provide you with sustenance when food becomes scarce. It's a tangible manifestation of your foresight and prudence, a testament to your commitment to self-reliance and independence. But remember, your stockpile is only as good as your ability to protect it, whether it's from natural disasters, thieves, or even the unlikely event of government seizures. It's essential to have a plan in place to safeguard your supplies. Invest in secure storage solutions, practice discretion when discussing your preparations, and always keep an eye on the changing laws and regulations that could impact your stockpiling efforts. While the risk of government seizures may seem remote, it's a possibility we cannot ignore. It's a stark reminder of the lengths some authorities may go to control resources during times of crisis. It underscores the importance of staying informed, of being vigilant, and of preparing for all eventualities. So keep stockpiling, keep planning, and keep learning. Your food stockpile is not just a stash of supplies, it's a symbol of your resilience, your adaptability, and your determination to survive. It's a reflection of your will to provide for your family, to withstand adversity, and to thrive in even the most challenging circumstances. Stay vigilant, stay prepared, and remember, your survival could depend on it. Until next time, this is Mike signing off.